Welcome everybody. I've got some much needed buffs for Wigglytuff in the form of two great new abilities that they can switch between with an infinite use ability capsule and dozens of new moves with great new effects, as well as some much needed stat boosts and redistribution. But with that being said, I want to have a quick disclaimer. If anybody's new here and you're just clicking on this video, please do make sure that you look at that Google Sheet in the description. You can look at all the other Pokemon buffs and changes, and most importantly, if you look on the screen right now, you can check right here. It says search all moves here, and you can look at all of the move buffs and changes. There are 600 plus of them. It's not your average run-of-the-mill ROM hack where they just do like service level stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just more in depth than what most people are probably used to. So yeah, please do give those a look and accustom yourself with all the new moves and effects of existing moves. Of course, that's actually more important because the new moves are like sometimes pretty self-explanatory and also like it's easy to remember. But with the older moves that are changed, yeah, those are really important to remember as well. So do give all those a look. They're organized into several different categories, as you can see on screen, and you can click on it and it'll take you right there. So it's very easy to navigate. The second this loads, I would like to talk about Wigglytuff, please. Did I not click it? Okay, we're good now. So yeah, Huge Power and Fluffy. Huge Power might seem like a weird choice for Wigglytuff, but it's not, in my opinion, when Azumarill has it and has like the exact same body shape and is also a rabbit. Wigglytuff is not like explicitly a rabbit, but it's pretty rabbit-esque, and it's kind of the same vibe as Azumarill. So if Azumarill can have it, then Wigglytuff does. In fact, they actually share the exact same attack stat, which with Huge Power is equivalent to 149 base attack, which might sound crazy, but by this hack standards, there's all types of boosting abilities and moves running around. 149 base attack, while still very strong, is not like the strongest thing on the planet. It's just a strong Pokemon, which many stronger ones do exist, and power isn't everything. Utility is really important in a hack like this as well. Speaking of utility, that's where the secondary ability comes in Fluffy. Fluffy with 175, 100 bulk on a normal fairy type is beautiful. You're extremely tanky, and you have a good special attack stat of base 100 as well, with great special moves, which obviously Wigglytuff already got most of those special moves. It also gets good physical moves now too, but I mean, everybody had some good physical moves anyways. And also coverage is not the most important thing in the world anyways. You don't need to hit everything super effectively. In fact, a lot of times you will actually lack the move slots for that because you don't have access to the movie learner until the end of the game, which is kind of what I'm balancing the difficulty around a lot of the time, and I'm balancing your level up moves around in terms of like what levels you learn certain moves. And you're not always going to have the room for a coverage move. You can run it for certain fights, but a little bit niche overall. Utility moves are a lot more important in my opinion. Speaking of, you do have reliable recovery in the form of Slack Off, which is great, especially for Fluffy sets, but also for Huge Power, because even without Fluffy, 175, 100 bulk is still good. Keep in mind that Fluffy does have its own drawbacks as well. So while Huge Power has a drawback of you being significantly less bulky on the physical side, Fluffy has the drawback of not working for non-contact moves and giving you a weakness to fire. So for certain fights, you're not going to want to run Fluffy, even if you're not running Huge Power. Sorry, even if you're not running special moves, Fluffy is still useful over Huge Power for similar reasons. You're not always going to need that power boost from Huge Power. You might just need utility. Maybe your Wigglytuff's only role in that boss fight is to switch in on something, use a status dropping move or a stat dropping move, excuse me, and then switch out with Parting Shot or something. So definitely worth considering, even if you don't want other stuff. Why do I have U-turn on there too, dude? What was I cooking? That's not like the weirdest thing in the world, but I don't like it too much. Oh, it's symmetrical now too. Cool. Yeah, let me make sure I remove that in the. This is my second time recording actually, because I had like Solar Blade and shit on here, and I was like, dude, how did I not see that before like recording? But yeah, with that being said, very, very good abilities in Huge Power and Fluffy. Again, you cycle between your abilities. That's part of what all the Pokemon in this hack can do. What's part of what makes them great is that they all have two abilities. And yeah, Jigglypuff, very bulky as well with Fluffy, very strong with Huge Power. Jigglypuff's attack is equivalent to 119 base with Huge Power, while Igglybuff's is equivalent to 89 base with Huge Power, and that will evolve in time for, after Totem Gumshoos, while Jigglypuff will evolve in time for Olivia, so those are pretty good. You have all types of other great stat-dropping moves like Charm and Befriend. You have recovery, I already said that. I was going to say priority moves. You have very good priority moves in the form of Fairy Blow and Fake Out on the physical side, and Sucker Punch. And then on the special side, you have Swift, Pixie Dust, and Shockwave. So those are all really great options for your Wigglytuff to use in all different types of scenarios. You have other really good special moves, like, for example, to make special sets with Fluffy more worth using, I gave them Boom Burst at 47. not that fitting, but I think it's fitting enough. Like, number one, they're like this balloon, which is also, by the way, why I kept their good base HP pretty high. Of course, they are significantly bulkier than they used to be, even without Fluffy, because of the defensive boosts, but their HP was really high, and I try to base HP more on size in this hack. I scale it more to the size of the Pokemon. It's not perfect. It's not like a one-to-one, oh my god, I have to be super pedantic about it, but it's like, okay, you know, this is way too high, this feels way too low for how big this thing is, etc., etc. And Wigglytuff, I initially had it at like 80 something, I believe, in the older renditions of Wigglytuff, but I ended up buffing it up to base 100 just because, you know, like, they are a balloon, they do inflate, they are pretty fat, and it's a little bit soulful for them to have still above 100 HP. But yeah, it's obviously not, it's not 140. So, but obviously when you have Fluffy there, it's like you're flipping hits forever. Yeah, as I was saying, with Boom Burst, I kind of see them as they are balloon Pokemon. I kind of see them like inhaling a lot of air and then blowing it all out. Not to mention Jigglypuff especially is known for singing, so I think Boom Burst fits for both of those reasons. You have a bunch of other really fun moves. Belly Drum at 65 is very, very late game, but it is very good with your priority Fairy Blow. I mean, there's tons of Belly Drum is like pretty common in attack, and also there's tons of priority moves. So Belly Drum plus priority is nothing special whatsoever, but it's, you know, it's kind of cool regardless. Yeah, great utility moves. You got Serenade, which makes the opponent drowsy and also does damage at the same time. You've got, you know, Wish plus Baton Pass with your base 100 HP. With Fluffy would be pretty cool. Baton Pass being negative priority. Of course, you can also just teach Parting Shot though when you are pretty slow. So Baton Pass is a bit niche, but it's still pretty cool, especially if you're using something like Hold Back plus Baton Pass. Hold Back giving you +1 attack and accuracy. You could maybe Baton Pass that boost into a Hustle ally that you have with the ability Hustle, making them incredibly powerful and not miss their moves anymore. Or you can use Baton Pass to pass Stockpile boost. Swallow will also heal you about 100% HP now, even with only one Stockpile boost in its priority now as well. So Swallow plus Stockpile is a very good combo, especially in a ROM hack like this where you can't heal in battle. Of course, that's why Slack Off is viable as well, and just, you know, simple Rest Talk if you do end up deleting any of the other heal moves. You'll always have Rest Talk there or just Rest plus Chest to, you know, heal you up if you need it, or Leftovers plus Protect and whatever. You have tons of healing options though in this case. Even Drain Punch and stuff is pretty good. Assault Vest sets for certain boss fights is good. You know, you can do all types of good stuff. I mean, the possibilities are literally endless. It really just depends on the boss fight that's coming up, you know, depending on the item you'd run. And it also depends on your teammates and specific playstyle you're using and all that other stuff. It's pretty simple though. I don't really know what else to say. It's just, it's got really strong moves. Like I said, I think Huge Power does fit pretty well. It's kind of like a funny little cute ability for it. Again, Azumarill gets it, so I don't see a single reason why these guys can't. I think it fits the vibe. Also, that means all the rabbit Pokemon besides Lopunny have Huge Power, which is pretty cool. Being Diggersby, Azumarill, and then I guess theoretically Wigglytuff. All the rabbit Pokemon in Gens 1 to 7. I'm not missing any, I don't think so. Yeah, pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. It's got incredible coverage like it always has had. Good setup moves, Nasty Block, Calm Mind, Bulk Up. I do think that some of those might seem a little bit odd, but if you look at it in the context of the hack and all the other Pokemon that get these moves, it's nothing too weird. Same with Parting Shot. Like, these guys seem pretty cute, but, you know, I'm pretty sure we all seen an anime where, like, God, I can't believe I'm using anime logic to justify something, but it does make sense in my opinion. You know, they do have like a darker, angrier side to them, even in like the games, I think, because they learn like some weird, like, kind of nasty moves like fake tears and stuff, like Knock Off and Punishment. For Punishment, there you go, that's one like that explains it a little bit better. It's weird, but I don't know, it's good utility, and honestly in a ROM hack that's going to be difficult like this with all types of powerful things running around, you're going to want counterplay like Parting Shot on most Pokemon just to have as an option to teach whenever you need it. With that being said though, pretty simple, straightforward. I think I'll leave it off there. There's a couple other cool little combos I can touch on briefly. Charm Befriend is good. Summoning Voice Harmonize drops special attack and attack by 1, as well as Water Pulse. That also does that same effect. Wake Up Slap is really interesting now. Honestly, you can just check out what that does in the description below, because I don't want to drag this video on for too long, but it works really well with Yawn now is what I'll say. And also Serenade, and also Sing. Oh my god, Sing's not on there. I deleted it by accident. Oopsies, I will add that as well. Yeah, I will do that after this video. I'll just put that there now. Now it doesn't fit anymore. I have to put it at 15. All right, so I'll leave it off there. Thank you for listening all the way through. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Hopefully I elaborated on everything pretty well. Again, that special attack stat, while being significantly lower than 149 base with Huge Power, is worth using because you gain Fluffy. So it's like you're trading 50-ish base attack for Fluffy, which is like, you know, that's why you switch between your with your abilities. That's why you switch between them. Also, I probably shouldn't have mentioned this listed in the video, but all Pokemon in this hack are also benefiting from the fact that you have infinite EV training items available, so you can easily switch around your EV sets depending on the boss fight coming up. That's a really good little quality of life thing that encourages changing up your strategies for certain fights. But yeah, I'll leave it up there. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace, y'all.